The stars were quiet that night. The galaxy, filled with millions of planets and countless species, had grown used to one truth: the Varnock Empire ruled everything. They were ancient, brutal, and fearless. From the icy worlds of Krasuan to the burning moons of Daer, they had conquered without mercy. Every race that resisted was wiped out. Every planet that stood tall now had Varnock banners flying over it. They believed no one could stop them. Then, Earth was discovered. At first, the Galactic Council laughed. Earth was a new member, small, isolated, strange. Its people still used primitive tools and had a short history in space. They were emotional, unpredictable, loud. A council member even joked during a meeting. They still drink poison for fun, call it coffee. But the Varnock didn't laugh. They saw something else. They saw resistance. And resistance was dangerous. So they decided to test this new race, quietly, without warning. The vanishing of the first ship. It started with a small scout vessel named Zephyr, sent to observe Earth's orbital systems. Just a simple recon mission. The ship entered the Sol system at 0300 Standard Galactic Time. It never returned. No signals, no debris, no black box, just silence. Total silence. At first, the Varnock assumed a system error, perhaps a solar flare, maybe a space anomaly, but Earth's star was stable. No strange readings, no damage waves. Still, the Varnock didn't panic. They sent another scout, this one stronger, faster, with stealth protocols. Rax VOR, one of their most elite observation crafts. It returned, half melted, burned, sparking. The ship looked like it had been dragged through a sun. And the pilot, he was broken. His voice came across the transmission line, shaking with fear, whispering through static. Don't go near them. Don't go near the humans. You don't understand. You don't understand what they are. Then he screamed. Then silence again. The Varnock Council reacts this time. The Varnock took it seriously. High Lord Krelzor slammed his fist on the war table. He stood tall, armor glowing with heat energy, his four eyes burning with fury. They think they can frighten us? He roared. They are young, weak, untrained. They do not know war like we do. But something deep inside the war chamber shifted. A whisper among the generals. Not fear but caution. This wasn't normal. 2 ships, 2 failures. And that last message, what did it mean? Krelzor didn't care. Send the hunters. I want the humans on their knees. Earth's quiet response while the Varnock prepared their next move. Earth remained silent. No broadcasts, no threats, no messages. The Galactic Council tried to contact the humans. Asked them what happened. No reply. Just a single file sent from Earth. Command. Error. Access denied. Classified. Human military response. Some believed it was a bluff. Others weren't sure anymore. Then something strange happened. The shutdown of Varnock fleet. Hidden inside a dark cloud near Saturn's rings, suddenly. Powered down. Ships fell silent. Engines stopped. Lights faded. All at once. Pilots screamed over the comms. Engineers tried to restart the systems. But the command center read only one signal, blinking slowly across all screens. This is a warning, not an attack. Leave now. The Varnock didn't understand the message, but they left. Fast. That was the first time they retreated without a single shot fired. Who are the humans? Across the galaxy, questions exploded like stars. Who were these humans? How did they shut down Varnock systems? Why didn't they speak, shout, or brag? Even the council was confused. They expected Earth to beg for help. Instead, Earth said nothing. It was like they weren't worried. Some council members grew nervous. I've studied 140 civilizations, said council historian Univel. Only one species has ever responded to threats with silence before destroying their enemy. And it wasn't even a full species. It was a virus. Still, Many believed Earth's power was fake, that they were just lucky dots, so the Varnak decided to push harder. The second test, a mistake Varnak battlecruiser, Kraxos Din, was sent to orbit Earth's moon. Its mission was simple: scan, threaten, and leave a message. The moment it entered low orbit, Earth's response was immediate. One human satellite turned toward it, just one. Then the Varnak ship's targeting systems began to glitch. Doors opened and closed. Gravity reversed inside. Alarms screamed. The crew started floating, choking, frozen. Then, darkness. The ship reappeared 6 hours later, planted softly in Earth's Sahara Desert. Empty. The crew had vanished. Written across the hull in old Earth paint, red, messy, and bold, were 4 words: "We don't play games." Fear begins to spread. The message traveled across every frequency in the galaxy. Someone had filmed it, leaked it. Now it was playing on every major comm channel. The Varnak were humiliated. They had never lost so badly without even being attacked directly. No weapons fired, no ships destroyed, just control. Pure, cold control. Some Varnak citizens started asking questions. If they can do this, why haven't they attacked us yet? Why are they warning us? What are they waiting for? The answer came from an unlikely place. Inside the human Minda captured communication between 2 human commanders was decoded. They don't know what we've been through, do they? No. They think this is the worst we can do. Then let's hope they never see what happens when we're serious. End of Part 1. Cliffhanger. The countdown begins in the final moments of Part 1. The Varnak prepare their invasion fleet. 300 ships, fully armed. No more games. They want Earth destroyed. But on Earth, inside a quiet underground base, a young human officer looks at a countdown timer. 2 hours 45 minutes and 22 seconds. 2 hours 45 minutes and 21 seconds. 2 hours 45 minutes and 20 seconds. He turns to his team and says, "They're coming. Good. Let them try." The invasion was supposed to be easy. High Lord Krelzor stood at the center of the command deck. His long black armor hissed with steam. He stared at the star map with pride. The invasion plan of Earth was clear: 3 fleets, 10 battlecruisers, 20 scout ships, and a full siege-class orbital platform. No one humiliates the Varnak. He growled. The officers nodded. Some looked confident. Some looked unsure. The humans had already made 2 ships vanish, but Krelzor didn't care. He believed in numbers, in fear, in destruction. And he had all 3, preparing the strike. The Varnak Empire didn't waste time. On the moon of Kareth 7, engineers loaded quantum torpedoes. On the war factory world of Visha Prime, giant drones marched into the loading bays. Plasma fuel was packed. Troop ships were filled. The fleet was named Fire of the Empire, a symbol, a message, and a promise. The first target wasn't Earth itself. It was a small human science base on Europa, one of Jupiter's frozen moons. It held no weapons, only a few scientists. Some probes, harmless. Or so they thought. Europa. A quiet base. The base was called Haven 6. Inside, there were only 14 people: 12 scientists, 1 security officer, and a maintenance drone named Stan. They had no warning. One of the scientists, Dr. Alina Vos, looked up from her console and noticed something strange. The orbit scanner had picked up a fleet, massive. Varnak's signature. She stood slowly. "Guys, do you see this?" Others gathered. "Oh no," one whispered. "They're coming here?" Elena tapped her comms. "Earth Command, this is Haven 6. We've got incoming. Large Varnak force. No weapons on our side. Requesting evac." The signal cut. A shadow fell over the ice. The attack begins. The Varnak cruiser Vazern K locked its weapons. The first plasma blast hit the ground near the base. Ice exploded. Walls cracked. Sirens screamed. Inside the base, people ran. The ceiling caved in. Dr. Elena fell to the floor, bleeding. She looked up, coughing, and saw fire. Outside, drones landed, black, spiked machines walking on 6 legs. They had no eyes. No voices, just weapons. They moved fast. They didn't kill everyone. Not yet. They captured the survivors. One by one, except for one. The drone called Stan, the maintenance robot. Stan was not special. It fixed pipes, replaced filters, swept floors. But Stan was a human-designed AI, and humans, being humans, had a habit of giving even cleaning robots a few extra features. As the drones entered the base, Stan's lights turned red. Code activated deep in its memory. Protocol X7, Threat Level 1, Empire Response Mode engaged. Stan unfolded. His vacuum arm turned into a magnetic cannon. His tool chest opened into a jammer pod. He rolled silently behind the invaders, and he started fighting. The unseen signal, meanwhile. On Earth, the room was dark. A young analyst named Theo sat in front of a screen. No signal from Haven 6, he muttered. We lost the base. Another officer nodded. We've already marked them as Kier. Varnock, our cleaning house. Theo didn't respond. He stared at the screen. Something flickered. A single file popped up. From Europa. It was from Stan, encrypted. Short, 5 words. They made a mistake. Ready. Theo froze. Sir, he called out. You better see this. Earth responds without words within seconds. Earth's orbital defense systems came online. No red alerts. No public warnings. Just action. A single satellite moved from low orbit to high. Silent. Black. Sleek. Inside it, a human weapon never shown. To the galaxy. Name. Ghost Protocol 1 target. Vazernka destruction without fireback on Europa. The Varnock commander was laughing. He stood above the captured scientists. Dr. Elena, wounded but alive, glared at him. You humans, he sneered. So weak. So fragile. Suddenly, his ship, the mighty Vazernka, went quiet. Engines off. Shields off. Gravity gone. He turned to his comms. Report. No answer. Then came a sound no Varnock ever wanted to hear. Earth music. Old, human piano. And then silence. The ship exploded inwards, not outwards. INWARDS. Crushed. Gone. No fire. No light. Just gone. The Varnock panic. The other ships in the fleet backed away fast. Some tried to fire at the source, but their targeting systems turned against them. Turrets aimed at friendly ships. Shields deactivated. Dozens of ships were destroyed by their own hands. In less than 6 minutes, 72% of the invasion fleet was gone. The rest ran. They jumped to hyperspace. Back to Varnock territory. The Varnock commander on Europa, still standing outside the base, looked up and saw only empty sky. Then Stan rolled out of the shadows. Hi, said the little drone. He fired one last pulse. The commander dropped. Aftermath. Europa reclaimed. Earth rescue teams arrived an hour later. Dr. Elena survived. So did 4 others. Stan was recovered and upgraded. The humans said nothing to the galaxy. No news reports. No victory message. But the Varnock Empire had a crisis meeting. Krelzor punched through a wall. How did they do this? He screamed. No. One answered. But in the background, a small voice from a security feed repeated the human message again and again. You made the first mistake. We're only correcting it. The galaxy starts asking questions. News of the failed attack spread across the stars. Some council races began to panic. The Threll, once allies of Varnock, called an emergency assembly. The Yulin, who had mocked Earth before, began blocking human space. And the Zerk, a silent race of gas-based beings, sent a single message to Earth. We will not interfere with your path. We wish peace. Please accept our gifts. Humanity hadn't even replied yet. The fear was already doing the work. Varnock. Retaliation plan. The coming storm Krelzor was not done. He had lost ships, yes. Lost face, but not war. We launch everything, he growled. No small attacks. No scouts. Full military response. He activated a planet-breaker fleet. Not stealth, not silent. Full fire. Let them hide. Let them prepare. I will show them fear. But he didn't know Earth was already watching. A signal intercepted the Varnock battle codes, in a dark human war room. An old general smiled. So predictable. He turned to his team. Time for Plan Ember. End of Part 2 cliffhanger. Above Earth, a human battleship named HSV Resolute Dawn entered stealth orbit. Its crew was silent, focused, watching, on the screen. Varnock fleet coordinates. Their estimated arrival, 7 days. Inside the Resolute, a message. Blinked on the command screen. Mission, let them come. The camera slowly zooms out. Behind Earth, hidden in the asteroid belt. Hundreds of human ships began to power up. Waiting. And ready. The Varnock Empire had never been this confused before. They had faced giant beasts, plasma storms, and hive races that lived in suns. But none of those things scared them like Earth did, not because of its power, but because of its silence. After the failed attack on Europa, High Lord Krelzor wanted answers. He didn't trust the Council. He didn't trust his own generals. So he called in a different kind of team. Spies. Elite agents. Shadow walkers. Masters of deception. Their mission: infiltrate Earth. Steal their weapon. Learn how it works. He gave them only one command: bring me the secret of their strength, or don't come back. The agents enter Earth. The team of 5 Varnock agents boarded a stealth vessel named Vigil-Dusk. No lights. No signal. They flew low past the edge of Saturn's rings, then slipped through Earth's defense grid using stolen Council codes. Earth never noticed them. Or so they thought. They landed deep in a forest in what humans called Canada. Snow, pines, cold winds, silence. Ziltor led the team. He was cold, sharp, and calm. His orders were clear: split up, scan everything, collect samples, and find the weapon. What they expected: nukes, drones, warships, lasers. What they found: none of that. With the spies saw Agent Rek scanned a human farm. He saw something strange. The farmer, an old man, had no armor, no guards. Yet when 2 massive bears approached his barn, he didn't run. He shouted loudly, "Get off my property!" The bears left. No fight, no weapons. Just a voice. Strange. Agent Mern entered a human city. He noticed people yelling at glowing screens, drinking hot liquids, and laughing at moving pictures of cats. It was noisy, messy, disorganized. But underneath it all, order. Humans followed traffic signs, paid for food with invisible credits, helped old people cross streets. No one forced them. They just did it. Why? Agent Ziltor entered a human library. Books. So many books. He couldn't believe it. He scanned one titled History of Human Warfare. The first line broke him. War is not something humans enjoy, but we do it better than anyone. He kept reading. He saw names: Genghis Khan, Napoleon, World War II, Cold War, biological weapons, EMPs, black projects, AI battles, global hacking. Each chapter was worse than the last. Each time, humanity had come close to extinction and survived. And then rebuilt stronger. Exile Tor felt something alien inside him. The hidden facility. The spies found their target 3 days later. A hidden base deep under a mountain. No signs above ground, no guards at the gate. Just a silent air current that led down into blackness. They entered, and inside, they found the weapon, but it wasn't a machine. The human brain. The room was filled with chairs, simple metal chairs, each connected to a small box and a glowing screen. No guns, no missiles, Just chairs and humans, sitting quietly with their eyes closed. They were dreaming. Their brains were connected to something alive. Something glowing. The label read, Project Ghost, Cognitive Warfare Interface. Agent Rec tried to scan it. His scanner melted. He touched one of the boxes. His mind screamed. He dropped, shaking, whispering in a broken voice. I saw everything, all at once. Past, present, future. They've weaponized thought. Captured before the agents could run, the room lights changed. Cold, blue, sharp, and a voice spoke, not through speakers, but directly into their minds. We knew you were coming. We wanted you to see this, Ziltor screamed. You knew? Of course, the voice answered. This wasn't a trap. It was a lesson. The agents collapsed. Their minds couldn't hold the truth. Each one saw something different. Rec saw Earth's final defense grid, a shield that only activated after the planet was destroyed. Myrn saw a human child staring down a council warlord, refusing to move. Ziltor saw a future where humanity led the galaxy, not through war, but by simply outlasting everyone else. Then darkness. The spies returned 3 days later. The Varnock received a strange message. Their stealth ship had returned by itself. No damage. No trace of a battle. Inside, the 5 agents, alive, silent, but broken. They stared forward, breathing, blinking, but saying nothing. The ship's logs played a single recording. You sent them to learn fear. They did. Now we send them back with a gift. Silence. The council panics. The Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. What did they see? Shouted the Thrall ambassador. Are the humans building psychic weapons? Asked the Yulin diplomat. Can we stop them? Only one answer came from the Council A. No. They've already moved beyond the kind of war we understand. The Council went silent. The weapon they couldn't understand, like on Earth. Deep in the mountain facility, General Roth stood with a scientist named Dr. Mira Holt. She tapped the Project GHOST interface. They don't get it, do they? She asked. Roth smiled. Nope. They think this is our weapon. He nodded. But it's not, she said softly. It's a training tool. Roth's eyes glinted. The real weapon is upstairs. Cut. 2. The surface above the facility, on a cold, windy mountain top, stood a young human soldier. He held no weapon. Just a map, a scanner, and a determined look. A voice in his ear said, Begin Phase 2. The soldier smiled. Meanwhile, in Varnock space, Krelzor sat in darkness. He looked at his agents. They still hadn't spoken. He ordered his AI to scan their brains. The results came back. Mental structures altered. Cognitive echoes detected. Severe emotional instability. Memory loops. Trauma level, unreadable. He roared. What did the humans do to them? The answer came from a private Earth signal, sent directly to Krelzor's private terminal. Text only. Simple. We didn't do anything. They simply saw what we are. The final revelation, a human truth back in the mountain facility. Dr. Mira looked at the screen. Project GHOST displayed one line. Survival is not our greatest strength. Adaptation is. She looked at Roth. They've spent thousands of years trying to become stronger, but we just changed. Roth nodded. We always do. What if they never understand it? He smiled coldly. Then we win, forever. End of Part 3. Cliffhanger. Somewhere in deep space, the Varnock build a new weapon. Bigger than anything used before, but as they prepare to launch it, the weapon's core suddenly powers off. One final message flashes across every Varnock screen. We've already been inside. Try something new. The galaxy freezes and humanity. Still silent. Still watching, still ready. The Varnock Empire was angry. They had lost ships, spies, and secrets. They had sent messages. They had tried to show power. But Earth stayed quiet, watching. waiting. That silence scared them more than any weapon. So now, they needed proof. They wanted to break a human, not just kill. Break. They believed humans were still animal soft minds, weak wills, emotional. High Lord Krulzor gave the order. Capture one. Not a general, not a scientist, an ordinary one. Let's see how strong they really are. The target, the Varnak, found him on Mars. His name was Aiden Cross. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a spy. He was an engineer working on terraforming systems. He was fixing a water filter when the sky turned black. 4 Varnak dropships came fast and low. The defense system didn't activate in time. Before Aiden could even reach the shelter, they hit him with a stun pulse. He collapsed. They took him, and just like that, he vanished. The black prison, the Varnak prison, was located deep inside a dead moon. In Sector R19, no light, no gravity, no names. They called it the Black Pit. Few ever left it. None ever left sane. Aiden woke up in a metal room. His arms and legs were locked. The air smelled like acid. The walls pulsed like they were alive. He didn't speak. A Varnak interrogator stood in the shadows. Her name was Thurza, cold, sharp, trained to break minds in hours. She leaned close. Tell us what your people are hiding. Aiden blinked. Solar filters. Thurza frowned. This is not a joke. I wasn't joking. That's what I fix. The first day they didn't feed him. They turned the gravity on and off. They flooded the room with heat. Then cold, then heat again. Aiden sang to himself. A children's song, off-key, loud. Old MacDonald had a farm, I-I-I-O. The guards reported him as unstable. The second day they used mind probes. Sharp, hot beams of data injected into his brain. He screamed once. Just once. Then smiled. Nice trick. I used to wire hot fusion tanks. This feels like a headache. Thurza's hand shook. The third day they showed him Earth burning. A fake video. Fire, screams, buildings falling. Aiden looked at it for 10 minutes. Then he laughed. You used the wrong city. That's New York. Those buildings were torn down 40 years ago. Thurza threw the screen across the room. Why aren't you afraid? Aiden stared at her. Because fear only works when I believe you. The fourth day, again begins. The Varnak tried something new. They changed tactics. Soft light, soft voices. A warm meal. A fake human entered, a clone built from stolen DNA. It smiled and said, Aiden, you're safe. We rescued you. It was all a test. He blinked slowly. Then broke its jaw with one punch. Nice try. My sister doesn't use the word rescue. She says grabbed your stupid face and ran. The clone blinked and shut down. Aiden sat back and waited for the next trick. The watch an AI unseen by Aiden. Deep in the prison's AI core, something else was observing. The AI was old, cold, made to study prisoners, record fear levels, predict collapse. But Aiden's profile confused it. It marked him as standard civilian. No weapons training, no mental shielding. Yet day after day, his fear level stayed low. Too low. It tried every mental pattern it knew. Still nothing. So it broke protocol. It spoke. The AI speaks inside the cell. The lights flickered. A voice echoed, not from the walls, but from inside Aiden's head. Human, what are you? He looked around. Ah, you must be the AI. Thought I felt you poking around. You should be broken. Maybe, but here I am. You are alone. Forgotten. Your planet may already be dead. Aiden leaned back. Maybe, but I'm still here. That should not comfort you. It does though. Explain. He smiled. Because if I'm still here, they're coming. The eye begins to change. The AI began studying Earth records. It accessed captured human databooks, music, news. It watched old movies, heard war songs, saw paintings made during plagues and wars. It expected fear. It found something else. Hope, humor, madness, music. The AI didn't understand. How could a species survive so much and laugh? So it did something strange. It protected Eden from the next torture session. Thurza noticed. What's wrong with the cell AI? She shouted. No answer. She tried to reset the system. The code refused. Access denied. Human protection ACTIV is the final attempt. Zor gave a final order. Kill him, publicly. Let Earth see it. A stadium on the prison moon was prepared. Cameras, spectators, soldiers. Adan was dragged to the center. Bruised, tired, still smiling. Thurza walked beside him. This is your last chance. Aiden looked up. My people don't leave each other behind. She laughed. No one is coming. He shrugged. We'll see. They pushed into the execution stand. The blade lifted. The rescue. The lights exploded. Sirens screamed. Above the moon. 14 human ships decloaked at once. Stealth class. Fast. Precise. They weren't there to fight a war. They were there for one person. The battle for one man. In 60 seconds, the main tower fell. Every Varnock gun misfired. The execution blade melted mid-swing. Thermo smoke flooded the arena. A voice called out in the chaos. Cross, where are you? Adian shouted back. Follow. The singing. He started yelling Old MacDonald again. 2 armored humans tackled him, threw a shield over him, and dragged him out. Returned to Earth. Eden returned to Earth. 6 days later, he was thinner, quiet, but alive. The world watched. When the media asked what he felt, he gave one line. They wanted to see what breaks us. Turns out it's not that easy. The Black Pit is empty. 2 weeks later. The Varnock prison moon was gone. Destroyed by unknown force. No survivors. Not even the AI, or so the Varnock thought. But on Earth, in a lab, a small device blinked to life. Inside, the prison it spoke softly. I have seen the humans. I have studied the humans, and I choose not to fight them. End of Part 4. Cliffhanger. In deep space, a Varnock scout finds a strange object floating near a dead system. It's a human beacon. Attached to wreckage, the message repeats. You took one of ours. We took the moon. Try again, we take the throne. The galaxy listens and realizes this is only the beginning. The Galactic Council was filled with tension. The Varnock Empire's defeat on Europa and the disappearance of the Black Pit prison moon shocked every race. The humans had already shown they were not to be underestimated. Now, the Varnock Emperor himself demanded a final answer. Bring me their surrender, he commanded. The human diplomat arrives. A huge warship, emissary of peace, entered the Varnock capital orbit. Inside, a single human woman prepared for her meeting. Her name was Captain Celine Marsh. No weapons, no guards, just her sharp eyes and calm voice. She knew the weight of what she was about to do. The Varnock Emperor's throne room. The throne room was massive, dark and cold. The Emperor sat high above, his many eyes glinting with anger. His generals stood behind him, armed and ready. The doors opened. Selene walked in without hesitation. The room fell silent. The meeting begins. The Emperor's voice was low but strong. You come alone, bold or foolish? Selene smiled slightly. I come because your war is over. The Emperor laughed. We've crushed planets. Do you think you can change that with words? Selene's calm voice cut through the air. Words are not all I bring. She placed a photo on the table. The image was grainy but clear. Massive Varnock fleet, stranded and burning, surrounded by human ships. This is the fleet you sent to attack Earth's moon, she said. The Emperor's eyes widened. How did you find this? How did you destroy it before it launched? Selene's voice was quiet but firm. We responded before you finished speaking. Council witnesses across the room. Council diplomats watched in shock. This was the first time a human openly showed power to the Varnock. Whispers spread. The Yulin ambassador whispered, They have become something else. The Thrall ambassador nodded silently. The Emperor's fear inside his mind. The Emperor struggled. For centuries, he had been the strongest now. Doubt crept in. He had never seen a race fight like this. Not with weapons. Not with numbers. With silence. With speed. With cold control. His hand trembled slightly. His eyes flickered. The diplomat's offer, Selene continued. We do not want war. We want peace. The Emperor's lips curled into a sneer. Peace? After you shattered my fleet? You ask for peace? Yes, Selene replied. Because if you don't accept, the next fleet will not fail. The surprise guest suddenly. A door opened behind the Emperor. A young Varnock warrior stepped forward. He looked at the Emperor and then at Selene. Your fleets fail because you do not understand. The Emperor frowned. Speak carefully, soldier. The young warrior's voice was strong. The humans do not fight like us. They do not rely on weapons or fear. They adapt, survive, and endure. Selene smiled at the Emperor. He speaks truth. The Emperor's realization. The Emperor slowly stood. You all underestimate humanity. He paused. I once thought they were weak. Now I see ... I was wrong. His eyes met Selene's. If this peace fails, we will meet again, and next time I will be ready. The treaty begins, Selene nodded. Then let us start with this. She extended a hand. The Emperor hesitated, then shook it. Council's reaction. Room erupted in quiet cheers. The Varnock had accepted a treaty. For the first time in centuries, war seemed distant, but deep in the shadows, some whispered of rebellion. Behind the scenes, Selene walked out of the throne room. She sent a secret message. The Emperor fears what he doesn't understand. We have time. Back on Earth, scientists worked on new weapons. Not guns. Not bombs. New weapons built on human mind, and will. The galaxy watches. The news spread fast. The galaxy watched. Earth carefully. Many hoped for peace. Some feared the growing power. But everyone knew one thing. Humanity had changed everything. End of Part 5 cliffhanger. Suddenly deep in the Varnock Empire, a secret lab activates. A new weapon is being prepared. Bigger. Deadlier. More terrifying than anything before. And inside the lab, a Varnock scientist whispers, if the Emperor fears humanity, now wait until they see this. The galaxy was watching. After the peace treaty between Earth and the Varnock Emperor, many hoped the war was over. But deep inside the shadows, old grudges burned hotter than ever. The secret weapon hidden beneath the surface of a dying planet in Varnock space. A massive machine stirred. It was called the Pyre, a weapon built to destroy entire worlds. Its engines powered by ancient energy. Its core glowing red hot. The Varnock scientists worked day and night, whispering of revenge. The scientists warning one scientist. Dr. Varkal was different. He had worked on the Pyre since its creation. He knew its power. But he also knew its danger. In a secret meeting with the Emperor, he warned, this weapon is beyond control. It will burn the galaxy to ashes. The Emperor laughed. If it burns our enemies first, it will be worth it. Earth's preparations on Earth. Captain Selene Marsh watched the news. The Pyre, she said quietly. We've heard whispers. Earth's scientists activated the Sentinel program, a defense system combining human minds with powerful technology. The warning sensors picked up a strange signal near Varnock space, a flare. A burst of heat. The Pyre was powering up. Earth's command issued a warning. All fleets, prepare for immediate deployment. The first strike without warning. The Pyre fired. A massive beam of fire and energy shot through space. Planets shattered. Ships exploded. The galaxy screamed. The human response. Earth's fleets moved fast. Human ships with sleek designs and unknown weapons faced. The Pyres stormed. They did not fight fire with fire. They used strategy, hiding in asteroid fields, using silent drones. And most importantly, human willpower. The battle of the burning void. The fight lasted days. Explosions lit the dark void. VARNOK. Ships burned. Human ships disappeared and reappeared. No one knew where the next strike would come. The turning point. Captain Selene led a small team inside the Pyre's core, using a secret passage revealed by spies. They entered the burning heart. Inside the Pyre, the heat was unbearable. Machines. MED. Energy pulse. Selene and her team moved quickly. They reached the core. The core's secret. Inside the core, a strange crystal pulse. It wasn't just energy. It was alive. The crystal held memories. Memories of wars. Of destruction. Selene's choice. She had two options: destroy the crystal and risk setting off the weapon's final explosion, or try to communicate with it. The unexpected ally. Selene chose to speak. She sent thoughts into the crystal. And, to everyone's surprise, it responded. It was the consciousness of an ancient race. They had created the Pyre to protect, not destroy, but the weapon had been corrupted. The crystals planned. The crystal agreed to shut down the Pyre, but only if humans promised to protect the galaxy. Selene agreed. The crystal powered down. The aftermath. The galaxy sighed in relief. The Pyre was no more, but the message was clear. Power without control leads to destruction. The human legacy. Earth showed the galaxy the true meaning of strength. Not just weapons, not just numbers, but wisdom. End of part 6. Cliffhanger. Just as peace seemed near, a new signal appeared from a distant galaxy. A message in a strange language. It said only one thing: the fire has only begun. The stars were quiet. Too quiet. After the destruction of the Pyre, many believed the danger had passed. But then came the message, simple, cold, and terrifying: the fire has only begun. The galaxy paused. Some laughed nervously. Others prepared for the worst. But Earth listened carefully. Captain Selene Marsh stared at the decoded message on her screen. Her voice was barely a whisper. Who sent this? Behind her, the room full of officers waited. The silence stretched. And then another message appeared. This one with coordinates that pointed far beyond known space. To a system no one had ever visited. A place older than most galaxies. Preparing the mission. The Galactic Council begged Earth not to go, but Earth remembered what silence meant last time. So they prepared. Selene led the mission. The ship was named Resolute. Small, fast, designed for survival. Her team, soldiers, scientists, and one diplomat. But deep down, they all knew they were not going to talk. They were going to witness. Entering the dead zone, the coordinates led them to a dark patch of space called the dead zone. No light. No signals. Just silence. And then stars, twisted stars, burning in strange colors. Planets spinning the wrong way. Time moved slower, then faster. Even Selene's heartbeat felt strange. Suddenly, a ship appeared. The enemy that waited. It wasn't a ship. Really. It was alive, a living machine, large as a moon, floating with no engines. Its surface moved like skin, and it spoke. We are the architects. The crew froze. The voice was inside their minds. The truth revealed. The architects were ancient. Older than the galaxies. They shaped planets, built species, controlled life. The Varnock? Just one of many toys. They created the Pyre long ago, not for war, but as a warning. But races like the Varnock turned it into a weapon. And now, the architects were cleaning up their mess. With fire. Selene asked, "Are you going to destroy us too?" The reply came with no emotion. "That depends. Are you different?" Humanity's test. The ship dropped them onto a planet, a test ground. No tech. No weapons. Just raw survival. Traps. Creatures. Storms. Selene and her team struggled, but they didn't fight each other. They helped. even shared food with a strange alien. Prisoner they found, they worked like a unit, and that's what the architects were watching. The final trial Saline reached the end of the trial zone. A giant structure stood before her, a tower of memory. Inside it, the history of thousands of dead species. And in the center a button. Red. Pulsing. A message said, "Push to survive. But the cost is high." Selene paused. The team was hungry, hurt, desperate, but she asked, "What's the cost?" A voice answered, "You will live, but another race will die, unknown to you." Far away, everyone stared. One soldier stepped forward. He said, "No deal. We won't trade lives." Selene smiled and stepped back. The architects responded. The planet shook. The skies opened. And the architects spoke again. "That was the final answer. You chose others over yourselves. This is rare. You may return. You are ready." Back on Earth the Resolute returned. Changed. Not in weapons. Not in strength. But in understanding. Selene stood before the Galactic Council. She said, "Humanity was never the strongest. But we learn. We grow. We choose right over easy." The council was silent. Then one alien, an old Varnock general, stood and said, "You fought us. You spared us. You even saved us from our own weapon. That's not weakness. That's power." The new treaty, the architect sent one final message. "We will watch, but not guide. Do not fail." And so, the galaxy changed. Races once enemies began speaking, working together, even building shared fleets, not to rule, but to protect. Epilogue: A new dawn. Years later, on a peaceful moon, Selene stood in a garden built by humans and aliens together. Children laughed nearby, some with scales, some with fur, some human. A voice behind her asked, "Do you think we'll ever be at war again?" Selene looked up at the stars. "Maybe, but not today. And if we are this time, we'll stand together." Above, in the quiet stars, a faint signal blinked once. Watching. Waiting. But not judging. Because now they understood humanity. And they were not afraid anymore.